Oh, hey, gang. I was just living up to the theme from March, which was Get Moving in March, which I kind of changed to Get Marching in March. And so I'm Mark Sweeney. If you first time tuned into Wisdom Wednesday, we do this every Wednesday about this time, and I try to bring you some of the latest scientific evidence of ways to lead a healthier life. Today is no different. It's going to be a good one. Last week we talked about resistance training and how that can add years to your life. And you can access those previous ones on our YouTube channel, or you can go back on Facebook and look at them. But they're archived and they're getting uploaded to YouTube every week now, so that you can go back and look at the most popular ones if you get a kick out of today's. If you're a normal follower, then you know all this stuff already, and you would know that this is the last Wednesday of March, so I won't be marching anymore, and I'm not going to tell you what our theme for next month is, so you'll have to tune in to find out. But we like to have fun with it, and one of the things that we always do is talk about things that will lead to a healthier lifestyle for you. Today, we're going to talk about sleep. And so don't close your eyes during this. This is not for you insomniacs out there. Anyway, we're going to talk about the topic of sleep because what we found, and this is fairly recent research, these researchers have found that the time that if the people who go to sleep and wake up at the same time pretty much every day within an hour or so of each other actually have healthier bodies, and particularly they were looking at heart, at hypertension and plaque buildup in the hearts. And so this came from a New York Times article recently called How Consistent Sleep Schedule Might Protect Your Heart. And they actually did a study that involved, let me find it here, 2,000 adults over the age of 45. And they found that those who slept varying amounts, like they might go to bed at 9 o'clock one night and 11 o'clock the next night, if there was a variation of 2 hours or more, and then they woke up at different times too, and then maybe they slept till noon on Saturday, those people were more likely to have hardened arteries than those with more regular sleep patterns. The people whose overall sleep amounts varied by 2 or more hours from night to night throughout the week were particularly likely to have high levels of calcified fatty plaque buildup in their arteries. Who knew that sleep could affect that? But now they've got so many sleep clinics out there now looking for people that have sleep apnea, where you actually stop breathing for periods of time, sometimes up to 45 seconds to a minute before you take another breath. We used to just call those snorers, but there are multiple levels of snoring now, and that's a subject for another day. But the upside is it's given us a chance to learn more about sleep patterns and about how they affect the rest of the body. And the researcher said that, if you're off a little bit from day to day, if you don't go to bed right at 9 every night, it doesn't have much effect. It's within a 2-hour period. But that consistent sleep is crucial for health. A 2020 study found that people ages 45 to 84 with erratic sleep schedules were nearly twice as likely to develop cardiovascular disease as those with regular sleep patterns. Twice as likely, and that's people middle age, 45 to 84. An analysis of 90,000 people linked circadian rhythm disruptions, which we talked about a couple of months ago, with a greater risk of mood disorders. Circadian rhythm is kind of your internal clock, if you will, that sets when you wake up and when you go to sleep. It's affected by light, and so that's why the time change that we just went through a couple of weeks ago messes some people up. Just that 1 hour change, and it starts. staying light till 7 p.m. when it used to get dark at 5:30, and it disrupts their body. It disrupts their circadian rhythms. So researchers even tied irregular sleep patterns to high cholesterol and high hypertension. So so that there is a correlation there. And so what do you do about it? Well, we came up with 6 ways. In this New York Times article, they mentioned 6 ways to get a healthy sleep pattern. 1, treat yourself to waking up at the same time every day, which is what we just went through. Set a wake-up goal that feels attainable, and regardless of what time you go to bed at night, try to wake up around the same time every day. I know some people that are really regular like that, don't even need an alarm clock. They wake up at the same time. They're the ones that come in on Thursday mornings, tomorrow morning when we start at 7 instead of at 8, and they're here at 6:45. And hoping that we can get them in even earlier. And they're out here bragging in the reception area that they haven't owned an alarm clock for 20 years because they don't need one, because they wake up even on vacation at 5:45. So anyway, set one that feels attainable, and then reward yourself. Get yourself a nice cup of coffee, or go read the paper, or take a walk around the neighborhood. Second, pay attention to your pre-bedtime ritual. This is really important. We covered this in another Wisdom Wednesday about a year ago, that developing a regular bedtime schedule, like after you brush your teeth and get in bed, keeping a book on the nightstand that you read a couple of pages until you start to feel sleepy, or you eat a meal at a specific time of the day, your last meal of the day. It's typically good. These researchers said should wait at least 2 to 3 hours after a meal, and even 4 hours after alcohol consumption, especially significant alcohol consumption, should stop 3 to 4 hours before you're planning on going to sleep, because you'll sleep better. These shifts will help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. Number 3, find an accountability partner to help you get up at the same day every time. Now, I've heard about accountability partners for getting to the gym or creating a new habit in your life, but this is the first time I've heard of getting an accountability partner that will hold you accountable for going to sleep at a certain time and getting up at a certain time. Probably best if you find somebody that is shooting for the same schedule that you're on, so that y'all can send each other a text before you go to bed at night saying, I'm hitting the sack, you need to be also. Or make plans to meet the next morning for breakfast. That'd be easy to do if you work with that person, to say, we're both going to get here at this time. Number 4, and this was interesting to me, get some sun. Well, we're talking about sleep. What does sun have to do with that? Well, actually, like we talked about with those circadian rhythms, the earlier in the morning that you get direct sun exposure, the quicker your body realizes, hey, it's daytime out. If you stay inside the house in low lighting, your body has a difficult time figuring out, is it night or is it day? So these researchers said take a walk first thing in the morning when you're out in the sun. That's taking that walk the same time each day kind of kick-starts your body into saying, okay, the sun's out, I need to wake up. Number 5, make your alarm as annoying as possible. Boy, I've gotten some feedback on that, because mine is obnoxious, because otherwise, if it was just nice little music, I would sleep right through it. But so mine is the most obnoxious one I can find on my iPhone. And if there's somebody else around, they typically bolt out of bed, because I turn it up full blast too. That's the only way I'm going to predictably wake up in the mornings. I'm a sound sleeper. But that's number 5. You might have to talk with your spouse or significant other if they don't like that, and have opposite ideas about how they want to wake up in the morning. No, then make them your accountability partner, and they'll get you up after they wake up. Number 6, give yourself some grace. I like this one. how aligned you are with your biological clock and keeping consistent. Don't beat yourself up if you're not very good at it. If you look around the gyms right now, starting about early April as the sun's coming out, the parking lots aren't as full as they were on January 2nd and 3rd when people made these New Year's resolutions to go out. So give yourself a break. You know, it's okay to miss a day or two here and there. The idea is to try to get as consistent as possible with this, and the research has proven it might give you a healthier heart and a healthier lifestyle. So that's my tips about sleep, straight from the New York Times, and we know they're never wrong. My health tip of the week. This is a good one. We've covered this one before too. Wait 60 minutes after a meal before you brush your teeth. I have this conversation with patients that carry a toothbrush around with them in their purse or in their, I had a guy in last week that had a little like man purse that he carried all his stuff in, and he pulled out his toothbrush, his electric toothbrush. He has it in a little case, and he was showing off to me that he carries it around, and I said, make sure you wait an hour or 45 minutes to an hour after you eat before you use that. And he went, why? Because he brushes immediately after eating. And I said, because the acidity, especially if you've eaten a meal or had margaritas, things that lower the pH in your mouth, your enamel's at its most fragile point. So you don't want to go in there with a electric toothbrush or a manual toothbrush scrubbing hard and potentially damaging the enamel. Wait an hour till your saliva and the bacteria in your mouth break that food down, and maybe take a toothpick and knock the food out from in between your teeth, or even dental floss, and then wait at least 45 minutes before you go in and start scrubbing and brushing your teeth. So nice little health tip. Also, I'll throw in a little caveat. If your toothbrush is going like that instead of like that, it's time to change the head on your toothbrush. People forget to do that every 3 months or so. So if it's looking at the walls on either side of you instead of the ceiling when it's laying on the countertop, time to change your toothbrush, or change the head if you have an electric one. So that's it for Wisdom Wednesday this week. I hope you'll tune in next week for the first week of April, and we'll have a new theme going, and we'll have some more fun scientific facts for you. Have a good week, and remember to keep moving in March.